bring you breaking news from OpenAI's live event. You saw a shot just moments ago.
Today, we are releasing our newest flagship model. This is GPT-4o.
Amazon making an additional $2.75 billion investment in the artificial intelligence company Yahoo.
Artificial intelligence has become so advanced, it has now surpassed human performance on several basic tasks.
Microsoft's going to be in the news next week. I know we mentioned them. Steve Kovac, they have their big AI event, speaking of.
A big part of that is Copilot. That's, of course, the marquee AI assistant. Microsoft has been making a huge push to sell it to businesses this year.
Traditional methods are now making way for new technology that promises to make farms more efficient, productive and profitable thanks to artificial intelligence.
Apple now reportedly developing its own chip to run AI software inside data centers.
But can it really replace your psychiatrist or doctor?
Roughly 60% of doctors in family medicine, pediatrics, and internal medicine say they are, guess what, burned out.
Sensors and cameras track Dieter's every move in this smart intensive care unit, from vital signs to facial expressions and everything in between.
More than 1.5 million developers use Gemini models across our tools. I have a feeling that someone out there might be counting how many times we have mentioned AI today. And since the big theme today has been letting Google do the work for you, we went ahead and counted so that you don't have to. That might be a record in how many times someone has said AI.
Okay, let's begin. Hey, everyone out there. Advanced AI is here. Let me move myself out of the way and bring the slides in. And okay, I'll put myself up in the corner and hopefully I don't get in the way. But yeah, advanced AI is here. You saw on those are just random news headlines that I gathered and clipped together just to give people an idea of the broad reaching impact that this technology is going to have in our culture and society and our lives. And well, we're here to figure out whether AI can sell or not. So welcome to the webinar. I'm Paul, and this is from AI to ROI to make sure you're in the right place. How e-commerce brands sell more with advanced AI chatbots. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. You can find me at all my social channels at Paul Campillo. I am currently head of marketing for Rep AI, and I joined the beginning of February last year. And you could say that this webinar is sort of me reporting on what I've seen since I've been here. And it's kind of like a retrospective as well, just kind of looking back and saying, hey, what happened here? What's the impact? What's going on? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So again, you know, the premise is how well does AI sell? And this is a retrospective. We're going to bring up real case studies from real merchants, anecdotal evidence from merchants. We're going to share what we're seeing and some data. Let's start with some data, actually. So 2023, this is what Rep was able to accomplish in 2023. Over 33 million, it's not a typo, 33 million shoppers were approached since the behavioral AI kicked in. And I'll talk more about that in a second, but it's just, it observes what people are doing and it approaches shoppers when they're stuck. Products, 93,000 products were added to cart, almost 94,000 if you round up. 144,000 orders were taken over the chat itself, over the AI itself, and over 12,800,000 items were sold. That's almost 13 million. So yes, I mean, long story short, TLDR, yes, AI can sell. And yes, AI can also influence sales. And this this is kind of what I want to get to, right? It's the influencing that's taking place here. We all know the key contributors. There's a lot of contributors when it comes to creating sales on an e-commerce site, and the most obvious one is the website itself. The website has to be done well. The images, AI is not going to save a poorly designed website, and poor content and poor copy and poor product descriptions. It's just not going to do that. So your table stakes is create a great e-commerce site. And then AI can help. It's not just AI, but all the other apps that are out there that help you develop a better experience or create more opportunities to sell more stuff. But again, this is advanced AI, and can advanced AI deal with these persistent problems that just keep coming up over and over again? And it's the reason why we hire apps to solve some of these problems, right? We might hire something to take care of our subscriptions or to collect emails or to do all these different things. And that's always going to be there. The app ecosystem is going to be there as long as there's a need for it. Okay. But can AI help solve low traffic conversions, or what we call the 98% problem? 98% problem is basically Shopify came out with some research, and they said that 1 to 3% of all site traffic is going to convert on average. Not for you A players out there who are converting 13%, right? Kudos to you. But Shopify says on average 1 to 3% is going to convert. Cool. Engagement beyond purchase. So it's like after you buy something, how well are you engaging with people? Can AI help with that? Finding and discovering products, abandoned carts, shopper confidence, upselling and cross-selling, or what we call the AOV problem. How do we get more sales? How do we get more upsells? Can it deal with frequently asked questions so you're not constantly bombarding support with all these questions that maybe your website could do a better job at explaining and answering? Okay. So let's start with low traffic conversions, or the 98% problem. Again, staggering 98% of all traffic will fail to convert on average. Okay. You could be exceptional, and that's great. This is the funnel. All these people are going to show up. They're going to go to your product collection page. They might check out your product page. They might maybe go to checkout, and then 2 to 5% are going to buy. Okay. And I think the strategy that everyone needs to take is how do we turn more browsers into light buyers? Meaning that not all of them are going to be returning customers. Some of them are just going to be there for a one-time purchase. How do we get more of those people in the door? And this came from this research from this book called How Brands Grow. And basically, he was saying that research shows that when a brand grows, there's a big increase in one-time purchasers and only a small increase in the number of customers that buy multiple times. So the point is, like, how do we get more of those one-time purchasers in the door and convert them? And you get so much traffic. You paid for all that traffic. You earned that traffic. You got them to your site. And it's sad that most of them are not going to convert. 95% of them are just not. Your top 20% of customers typically account for only 50% of sales, not 80%. And your bottom 80% of prospects are bigger than you think. This is the research from the book, by the way. So can AI help solve this problem? Again, what I was talking about earlier, the behavioral smarts or the behavioral AI that Rep has designed and created is meant to deal with this problem. So behavioral AI senses when shoppers are disengaged. So essentially it reads digital body language. So when you show up to a site, you're clicking, you're scrolling, you're not scrolling, you're inactive, you're looking around. And we've trained the AI so that every 5 seconds it's trying to determine whether this person is engaged or not. And if they're disengaged for any reason, the AI proactively approaches the shoppers with a chat. And the chat looks like this. It's very simple. Hey, happy Thursday. What brings you in today? Okay. I'm looking for a bra, special offers, like whatever. So that's it. That's all it does. And it works extremely well. Okay. And before it used to be a time pop-up. Like we before we developed the AI, we just basically said, hey, let's just time it 10 seconds, maybe will just pop up 20 seconds. It's going to pop up. And can you guess what happened? It was terrible. Like the conversions actually went down. And, it was so bad that we had to shut it off right away. And we realized that interruptive pop-ups don't work as well as you think they do. Okay. And I'm going to talk about this in the next section as well. But, it's because they interrupt. And if you're in a store and a salesperson is constantly interrupting you, you're going to be annoyed. And in digital, I think we have less patience. So the question is, does AI work better? And I'm just going to use this example from Harney and Sons. And so I was doing a case study with them, and I was finishing up with my draft. And I invite Emmerich Harney to come in and kind of take a look at it and improve it. So he takes a look at it and he says, "Hey man, you forgot. Like, if you want to add the percent increase of our regular conversion rate, Rep also provides us a 250% increase on conversion rate versus our standard consumer." Okay, he just put this in the Google comments. and I said, okay, so wait, you're saying that when people interact with Rep, they're 2.5 times more likely to purchase versus people who don't? Is that correct? He said, correct. Our standard conversion rate across devices is about 7 to 8%. So that's the conversation. And I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy. You basically tripled. So anytime anyone interacts with the AI, they're almost 3 times as likely to convert than someone who doesn't. Okay, that's crazy. And then I also thought, this is the worst it's going to get. Okay, AI is only going to improve from here. Engagement beyond purchase. Okay, that's the second problem. Okay, so email marketing. Everyone does email marketing, but does the how you collect the email matter? Does it really matter? Does it really make a difference? And then a merchant came to me, and they don't want their name to be shared here, but that's okay. I can still give you the example, but they were explaining this concept of revenue per recipient. So RPR basically measures the effectiveness of your email marketing campaign. Okay. So here's an example. So 100 emails generate $200 in revenue. Okay. Your RPR would be 200 divided by 100, which would be $2 revenue RPR. So they had pop-ups on their site. They had Rep collecting emails, as you can see here. And they said they doubled their email revenue per recipient from $2 to $4 when the email was captured through the AI, not through the pop-up. So Rep was $4 per recipient and was double our other best email flows. This is straight from their mouth. And I asked them, I said, why do you think that is? And this is what he did. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea why this is working so well. So my question to you is, why does it matter if an email was collected through a pop-up versus a more natural conversation? You tell me. Finding and discovering products. So Rep can help find and people discover products. Here's another example from Harney, and I'll let him tell you himself.
I think it's helped a lot in product discovery for people. Being able to have an additional layer, an interactive layer for product discovery has been a huge part. We have a pretty extensive product offering of over 300 different types of tea, and we spend a decent amount of time building out product descriptions, adding meta fields, data that has flavor notes, tasting profiles, things like that. And even with all of that information, it still can be hard to show people new products, show them different products. When we talk about single estate teas from Japan or Korea, South Korea, something like that, we have those category pages, but driving traffic there can be difficult. Having a Rep to assist us in that when people are interested in unflavored teas or flavored teas and guiding them that way, that's something that's huge for us.
Okay, so when I was talking to him and we were talking about this, so product discovery is different from product finding. It's like, I know specifically what I'm looking for, and their problem specifically was, hey, we want people to discover new teas. And so, yeah, they were able to kind of get the AI to influence or to get people, sway people to look at what else was out there. And can you imagine 300 different varietals of teas sitting on your website? And most of them aren't even getting eyeballs, and now you can with some recommendations. So that was finding and discovering products. So persistent problems. Number 4, abandoned carts. Okay, so this is a popular example with our team. We talk about snow a lot. Oh, by the way, they were featured on Ellen. If you didn't know, maybe you don't know who Ellen is if you're from outside the US, but it's okay. And one of the questions they asked was, can this actually solve abandoned carts? Because this is a big issue for us. And when I talked to Thomas, he made the distinction between abandoned carts where nobody leaves any information and an abandoned checkout where, yeah, they entered their information and for whatever reason they decide to leave. Abandoned carts is much harder to convert. And so we have this flow that that the AI goes through, and it basically, using first party cookie targeting, basically flags people when they abandon their cart. And the AI just like takes a look and says, hey, have you checked your cart lately? We're happy to give you some type of incentive to get you to come back and purchase. Okay. And so over a 60-day period, Snow reported a 33% conversions on abandoned carts, which, if 70% of abandoned carts are gone. They're bye-bye. 69% or 70%. They're not coming back. So to convert 33% of those is amazing, which generated over $220,000 in sales over that 60-day period. Again, this is the worst that AI is going to get. A big thing, especially when you're dealing with products that are more discreet in nature, like sex products for those for sexy time. Bush had the problem with people not feeling comfortable shopping for these products, not being informed enough, and so they were trying to figure out, hey, we already have all the content, and people were less willing to engage with live humans for whatever reason. Maybe they just wanted to keep it to themselves or whatever. And the problem with Bush was, they weren't giving people the confidence that they needed. They weren't giving them the information that they needed in the moment, and they were losing sales. And so what they did was they said, hey, they training the AI, hey, can you just direct people to this blog post? Can you, just give people a little bit more information on this? And the results is they sent 4 times more traffic to blog posts, and their CVR increased by 10%. And this is like an important one, right? There's always going to be a confidence issue, and that's what leads to buyer's remorse and some of these other things. But there's always, am I making the right purchase? Is this the right company? Is this, and the way we do that, we counteract that is with information and being knowledgeable and all those things. Upselling and cross-selling, or the AOV problem. Okay. So Body Align was reporting that some unusual once they activated the AI, some unusual results, and I'll let them share.
We're up to 162.44 as the average order value now. That's what? Are you kidding me?
What was it before?
It was like $80, $90.
So damn near doubled, no?
Holy cow! Yeah, I just looked at that like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't that high. That's crazy. So it's still going.
Yeah, the more we talk, the more I realize that some of these things are just unexplainable, or at least I'm going to try to explain it as we get towards the end of this our conversation today. But results like that, where you get a 41% increase in AOV or 50%, it's just out of this world. Again, this is the worst it's going to get. Okay. And then finally, handling FAQs, product and policy questions, handling general support queries, like these types of things. I'm gonna take you back to 1966 real quick and to the first chatbot that was ever made by this guy, Joseph Weizenbaum, professor at MIT. So in 1966, he developed Eliza, the world's first chatbot. And it's not the first AI, but it's the first chatbot. And so Eliza was there, and its job was to simulate a psychotherapist. Rogerian psychotherapy was a specific kind of therapy where it rephrased replies as questions. So if you said, I'm feeling depressed today. Why are you feeling depressed today? Why do you think you're feeling depressed today, or whatever? Successfully elicited emotional responses from users. And here's an example. Eliza would ask, is something troubling you? And the person would say, men are all alike. Okay. Eliza would say, what is the connection, do you suppose? See, it's not very intelligent. It's just putting out these responses. Well, they're always bugging us about something or other. And Eliza would say, can you think of a specific example? And this woman said, well, my boyfriend made me come here. Eliza, is it important to you that your boyfriend made you come here? See, you could actually use the phrases that somebody used and just kind of put it in a sentence. He says, I'm depressed much of the time. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that you're depressed. Okay. It's true. I am unhappy. Can you explain what made you unhappy? You see how it just keeps going and just keeps going. Anyway, what does this mean? So Weizenbaum's secretary sat down to, actually, this is him reporting right here, sat down at the keyboard, then she began to type. And of course, I looked over her shoulder to make sure that everything was operating properly. After 2 or 3 interchanges with the machine, she turned to me and said, would you mind leaving the room, please? Okay. The secretary was so entranced by the machine that she didn't want to stop exchanging messages. Weizenbaum saw this happening over and over again. He saw, I mean, it's a phenomenon. It just kept happening over and over again. People would reveal very intimate details about their lives to the program. It was like they had just been waiting for someone, for something to ask. And so Weizenbaum concluded, he's like, I had not realized that extremely short exposures to a relatively simple computer program could induce such powerful delusional thinking in quite normal people. And that was his conclusion. And he would go on to rail against chatbots for the rest of his life, ironically. And the Eliza effect was really just people projecting human feelings and understanding onto a machine, or anthropomorphizing the experience with the machine. Because humans are meaning makers. Very deep down, this is what we do. We make stuff up about the world. Okay. And in 2024, it's not necessarily, I mean, I wouldn't call it the Eliza effect anymore. Even though, yes, we still do anthropomorphize machines, but with technologies like ChatGPT and OpenAI and Gemini and everything else that's out there, Anthropic, Claude, or whatever, we're moving out of the Eliza effect into this, whatever you want to call it, the conversational effect. This is what we're calling it. And the Eliza effect was 1966, and now these chatbots are much more intelligent. Even though they're still trying to predict what you're going to say and how to respond, but we're moving into this realm of conversational effect, and maybe to this place where maybe there's sentience of some kind. But the Eliza effect, I project human feelings and understanding onto a machine. Conversational effect, I can be persuaded by AI conversations. And that's a very different outcome. Okay. So the conversational effect influences behavior. There's higher engagement. There's real world impact and real world decisions that are made. And there's feedback loops, and this constant like, oh, wow, this thing's actually smart. It's actually responding. And, not too long ago, I wrote a LinkedIn post, and I basically was like, there's a certain irony when we talk about AI enabling more human experience, especially in the context of anything digital. AI, specifically machine learning, algorithms, and natural language processing, can analyze and learn from enormous amounts of data that a single human just simply cannot process at scale. Anyway, I put this out, and then someone said, I feel seen by this post. This is actually my friend, Paul. I've been having so many conversations with ChatGPT about career change, interpersonal relationships, dealing with difficult conversations at work or in my private life. Mostly, I was just curious to see how it would respond, but I must admit, I did feel supported, and it did help me deal with some situations better. It's a source of inspiration, not only for meal prep. Okay, so some examples that we're starting to see that we've been seeing. There's plenty of examples. I only plucked a few. The mullet. Okay, so someone says, "Hey, I have a question," and the way they train their personality is like, "Hey, go for it, ask away." Well, I ordered today. Congratulations on your purchase. If you have any questions or need any assistance, blah blah blah. The person said, "Well, I just want to make sure I'm getting 4 of the air dined and air bases with it." Okay. And the AI responded, yes, the autopilot for uh, pot self watering systems include air bases and air drones and air domes. Sorry. The air bases replace the need for pebble drainage layer in the bottom. Anyway, it's just going on. And you're getting all your stuff basically. And he says, does it come with 4 of each? Yes, the auto pot 4-pot self-watering systems include 4 air bases and 4 air domes. So you're getting 4. And it's going on. We're excited to see you start growing on your growing journey. You guys can probably figure out what the product is, right? And was this helpful? Yes, this was helpful. Glad to hear. Is there anything else I can help you with? And the person said, also, bro's mullet was chef's kiss, right? Random comment. And, I looked at some of the videos, the guy had a mullet. So this person has just responded to that. But the AI's response, haha, the mullet trend is definitely making a comeback. It's all about expressing your unique style. Rock that mullet with confidence. This is the AI speaking. If you have any other questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. Thanks and again, and have a great day. Okay. This is this is a common occurrence now. Okay. Will it work for my daughter? Hello, need help with Aunt Jackie 5 knot on my watch. And it's weird reading all these product names. I have a question. How does it work? Not on my watch. Helps the comb glide through hard to manage hair, leaving it tangle free. Blah blah blah. Use it as often as needed or wet dry hair. Great detangling solution for all types of hair types and textures. Was this helpful? Yes. Will it work for my 12-year-old daughter? And I want you to think about the intent behind this question. Okay, whether she knows it's an AI or not, she's asking and she's trusting that the AI is going to give her the right answer, right? Yes, not is great for detangling solution for all hair types and textures. It will work for your 12-year-old daughter as well. Thanks. Thanks for chatting with me. Okay. And here's one from GoSun. I just recently drafted a case study for them. And it's very simple. Hello, can I assist you with, how can I assist you with Go today? I have a question. Go ahead and ask me anything. I'm looking for the GoSun Go with eTray. The GoSun Go does not come with an eTray, but you can purchase the Go eTray separately. It allows solar cooking during the day and becomes a 12-volt oven at night in a vehicle or indoors. Okay. Where do I find the eTray Go Sun Go? It actually said, they said done, but the AI is smart. You can find the Go eTray for the Go Sun Go on our website under the accessories section. Blah blah blah. Where do I find the eTray Go Sun Pro? Oh, sorry, that's a repeat. Okay, here it is. Okay, add Go eTray to my cart. Okay, I've added the Go eTray to your cart. Does it work with the cheapest $49 Go? Yes, the Go eTray is compatible with the Go oven, which is priced at $49. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Simple conversation. Nothing major. Just an exchange. The person had questions, got answers in the moment, in the buying moment, which is critical to this whole thing happening. Okay, and finally, I asked Jeff, said, what is rep? And it kind of alluded to some of the things we just talked about here.
It's hard to describe. It really is. Some of the conversation I've seen with people and the way they address it, like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, that was so amazing of you." And, like, they don't even know that it's AI. And, I mean, these might be some older folks, but, like, they're, like, genuinely like, "Wow, I can't believe you're so fast." I would describe it as, I don't know, man, AI is here, and it's really impressive, and it's, like, kinda scary. I mean, scary good. And it is, like I said, it scared the shit out of me when I realized it was like better than me. As far as, how quickly it can get to people, how many people it can handle at the same time simultaneously. Like, come on, man. No one can do that. Um, so yeah, it is a little frightening in that way. But yeah, from a business perspective, it's frighteningly good.
Okay, so anyway, his comment got me to thinking. Jeff has just himself and 2 full-time employees taking care of support. Okay, and they're only covering 8 hours of the day. And what about the other 16 hours? And if you hire someone to cover those 16 hours at $15 an hour, that would cost you $7,200 a month without benefits. I think it's like $9,300 or $9,400 with benefits. So my question to you is, what is the ROI of AI? And I'm going to give you a list of things to consider. What's the ROI of always having an always on presence in your digital store? What's the ROI of that? Okay, this was not possible before. This could not happen before, but now it can. Before, when people walked into your store, there's no one there to greet them, no one there to say hi, and there's nobody. It's digital. What are you supposed to do? What's the ROI of AI who doesn't need breaks, or something that someone doesn't need breaks, doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, or complain? What's the ROI to you? What's the ROI of someone who's always on brand and always knows your product catalog and every SKU and probably better than you, right? What's the ROI of someone who converts more site traffic and cart abandoners? Okay. What's the ROI of someone who sells more and upsells more for more AOV, right? What's the ROI of someone who supports and fields every question from in the buying moments and can talk to 30 or 300 shoppers or customers simultaneously? And then what's the ROI of delivering an individualized shopping experience for all of them, for everyone? What's the ROI of that? Anyway, thank you for coming and enjoy your day. Thank you.